This is tape 3 of the Veterans History Oral History Project with Mr. Al Katoski. It's Wednesday, January 31st, 2007. Al, we've just crossed the Ludendorff Bridge, and you're with the engineers in a medic role. What's happening now?
We're moving much faster. The towns are going by quicker. We're seeing more and more German civilians than we did in the past. Have had no incidents, though, of resistance by civilians. But
Where are you heading to? And what time of month is it? What time of year is it?
this is March the 7th to the 10th. We're in the little town of Gelsdorf. And then we stayed, when we crossed the Remagen Bridge, we stayed in the town of Linz, L-I-N-Z, in a Rhine Riverside mansion of a doctor who had a fine wine cellar, and that was good and bad. So, as I said, the wine was and champagne was very plentiful. But in the doctor's house, we stayed there, and I had a kind of a, not a clinic, but any of the guys that had medical problems would come there. So we were just there several days as the infantry moved north and south around the Remagen bridgehead, moving further east. Again, about the wine, that really was a problem for a while. But our commanding officer put me in charge. He had a suitcase, a fairly large suitcase, and he said, you can use this for medicinal purposes, only one suitcase full, and it's up to you to parcel it out. So that I was the alcoholic beverage control officer, I guess, self-assigned. So I carried it, and I did it judiciously, I think. Gave out as appropriate per the captain's orders. So that was a little aside. But mostly it was moving through these towns at a quick pace. Again, more civilians, a few animals that did survive, and it's getting more and more open, and the roads are less and less cluttered. So we're heading toward the autobahn, the major north-south highway that Hitler built for his potential war purposes.
Now, when you're heading towards the autobahn, how are you guys heading there? Are you?
It's again trucks.
Trucks?
Moving quickly, and we do have occasional. We're called on by the infantry just occasionally for a mine detection and looking for personnel mines and anti-tank mines, and also assisting maybe to reinforce a bridge or repair roads and things like that. So we're moving pretty quickly.
What happens when you get to the autobahn? What's that like?
That's a major highway, I think a 6-lane highway, and it's of the highest grade concrete, and it was defended before we got there, but once we got over it, we could move very quickly to the south and north. But mostly it was we proceeded along minor roads, the smaller roads, and the smaller towns we went
Mm-hmm.
to. We didn't go on the autobahn until later, much later. That was a major road to go to Berlin. But usually, at this time, we were going through small towns.
Going through small towns.
Yeah.
I just want to take a step back to December of '44. I was just thinking about you. You had talked about your the anti-tank obstacles. Wait. You had talked about on the 16th of December, and truck to Lambsdorff, you saw the pillboxes as you were coming in towards Lambsdorff. Remember that? And you
Yeah.
said that that happened after the you had spent about 6 weeks in Eupen, and then
And up
well, you
into-
were in Lambsdorff for a while, but you moved from the Hurtgen Forest in Eupen, December 8th to the 16th. But then you described the pillboxes, and you were able to move around them. Your guys were,
Yeah.
right?
Yes.
Was that the engineers that did it, or the infantry guys?
Mostly infantry, mostly infantry.
Mm-hmm.
But when they did need help,
Mm-hmm.
the fighting was done by the infantry, right? But then the engineers would come and improve the access or the entrance through them, improve the road, and maybe to remove one or two of these dragon's teeth. It's hard to remove them, but you could go around and build roads around them.
So you saw all these dragon's teeth.
Yes.
You came up close and personal to them,
Uh-huh.
and it was in the snow.
At
the
that
snow
time,
really?
there was snow, yes.
Yeah. That's just and so that's how you guys were able to push through and keep going and get in
That-
there, right?
And that's where that's our first entry in Germany, and it's like going into your country, your home. It's going to be more fiercely defended,
Mm-hmm.
and the weapons were there, and all these mines were there. Yes, it was really fiercely defended.
Now, as we're moving ahead again in March, and you're going through all the little towns, and it's past by the autobahn. Take me through the rest of March. Your March, your March of 1945, and then into April. Tell me what's happening.
Here's, okay. Mostly it's infantry support in the way of road construction, occasional use of a dozer to do something,
Mm-hmm.
and a removal of mines, typically. But that was usually what we were engaged in
Mm-hmm.
during that period.
It's March of '45.
Yes.
Mhm. Mm-hmm. Where were you when the war came to an end? And give me the sense as you get into April. Where are you heading? Where are things located? What's happening?
We're going through these. Some of them are resort areas and nice parts of Germany.
Mhm.
We're getting some rest.
Where are you staying?
In the houses this time, at this point, are not bombed out. We're just staying in regular houses, in regular bedrooms, getting food and served on tables. So it was a pretty nice period. There were some spots of resistance, but not any major resistance from this point on. As we went through these little towns. And it was obviously the phasing down. operation was phasing down. I'm trying to see what any particulars at that time, but
Do you remember where you were when the war in Europe came to an end, when Victory VE Day occurred?
yes, we were assigned, as I say, the war was winding down. We were assigned to build a recreation building. What was head of the German Air Force? Goering had this lodge in the woods, big forest area on a lake. So we were assigned to go up there and make it suitable for soldiers to go on past there. So it was a very pleasant duty to be able to do that, and we would go fishing in the lake. So it's just around May already. We would the engineers had a lot of TNT available, so they would not fish conservationists. They would take blocks of TNT, drop them into the water, and blow it up, and the fish would just surface in great numbers. So we had many fish for dinner that period.
You were, as you got further in, were you in Berlin yet, or was that much later?
That comes later.
So you're on your way. You're heading towards Berlin.
We're heading. Yes, going east steadily, and then at one point we were assigned to occupy a large area of Germany.
That's where you were in April and May of '45?
Yes, and I was at this resort and when the war ended.
That's where you are?
Yeah, but previous to that, what was it?
You were coming across. You're going through the autobahn, moving fast in March.
Right.
Building the recreation center.
Yes, and
The lake.
going to a lot of
Little towns, forest
and
area.
then building this recreation center for going ahead. And that's the war ended. That was May already.
Okay.
But in that period, March and April, it was many small towns that there really was not much resistance, and the engineer duties were mostly maintenance of bridges and highways and trying to repair them, keep the roads open.
What do you do?
I would go with them whenever they had something going on, building bridges or something. I would just accompany them, hope that nobody got hurt. That's it. There was nobody shooting at us at that point.
What do you recall hearing about the Victory Europe Day?
It was a radio at this resort we were building. We just heard on the radio that the war had ended. I'm trying to think of Roosevelt's death. Date of Roosevelt's.
Oh, that was April 12th, 1945. Where do you remember hearing that?
That's the same. I think we were in that area, the resort area, around that time too. That's when we heard about Roosevelt at the resort. And a little bit later, we were in an occupation zone. That's right. And that's where we heard that the war had ended.
Where was the occupation zone? Is that the same general area?
It's all I remember is the name of the town. It's Vernon Waldhausen, but I'd have to find it on the map. Little tiny town. We were waiting until we were told to go to Berlin. So that's where we were. We were in that little town then it was just uh, training. The engineers would do exercises. They would try to find new ways to build, uh, repair bridges, and that was they were engaged in that, and I was just engaged. And I'd go back to what we call the aid station and get supplies, and we would just talk about medical things. Uh, Other than that, I was just standing by, uh, standing by, waiting, hoping nobody got hurt. Or once in a while, there would be some illnesses, and colds, or appendicitis, a couple of cases. So I would be standing by. I would be ready, not to do anything, just to get them out of there. So it was just standing by and treating for any kind of ailment or disease or not any injuries.
Mm-hmm.
So that was about it until we were told to go to Berlin.
What was that like when you got to Berlin?
Oh, that was pretty exciting. We would go to this autobahn. Autobahn was mostly in a Russian-occupied territory.
Mm-hmm.
So it was our first sight of Russian soldiers and Russian tanks as we went through the Berlin. There's this arrangement. But Berlin was very exciting to get there.
When was Berlin? When did you get to Berlin? Do you remember?
What was the date? I might have that date here. November the 3rd.
November 3rd.
Yes.
November 3rd, 1945?
Yes.
So what are you doing? You're in the area of occupation, I guess. Zone of occupation until you go to Berlin, and you're just training with the combat engineers.
That's it.
Now, where were you when the war took your band happened? Remember that?
That was, yes, I was in. We were on. That was before Berlin.
Mm-hmm.
We learned that I was on army occupation at this Waltz House. We were there. We learned about the war in Japan.
I see. You became part of that army occupation then, right there.
Yes.
Got it. Okay. And so, as an occupier and a medic by training, what did you do for a couple of months until you moved to Berlin?
Nothing but read a lot and I'll try to figure out what to do when I get out. Mm-hmm. I was offered not a scholarship, but because of my medical training, admission to Case University in Cleveland medical school. I don't know why. I just wanted to get home. That would be a wonderful opportunity if that's a good hard center now.
Yeah. Well, before you move on to that, now, to Berlin, you go into Berlin November 3rd of 45, and what goes on for you in Berlin? What happens there?
Just recreation. We went to concerts. By the Berlin Symphony. And we just, we would have marches, parade marches, just parades, just give you something to do, keep you marching in formation.
What does the city look like when you get there? How?
It's I did get there, and I got of the rigs bombed out, and that was the Russians. One side and we'd run the other. So that was interesting dealing with the Russians. Talk to them and you wanted to buy anything you had. They would give you $10 for a pack of cigarettes. Occupation money. Russians stole the plates to make money. So every Russian had a pocket full of money. It was fabulous, but it was still a medium of exchange. That's all they had. So you would get anything they wanted to buy. As soon as they saw you, they wanted to buy your watch and your rings or a series of cigarettes, anything. So they had a lot of money.
Where did you stay in Burlington? I'm sorry. Where were you quartered?
They had nice barracks there. We even had a club where you could actually get beer. We wanted to add friendly club food, and it was very excellent food. But each company had its own, and you could even bring ladies there. And it was just a kind of reward for your club, and some overdid it on the drinking part. But other than that, it was very nice. Berlin Symphony. So it was just mostly marking times, you was conscious of your points. How many points did you have? 1 point for each servicing, 5 points for each major decoration.
How did that all come about? How did you speak into?
Some were unfair, but I didn't. I thought it was fair. What if you had to have some criteria for sending people back? You can't go by age. So that was the best thing: is how many years you served and how many decorations you have. And that was it.
When did you know you had received the Silver Star, by the way?
Oh, I didn't know that till. Sometime in March. That's interesting.
How did that happen? Can you tell me?
I was, you see people getting awards with the big formations of soldiers and all of that. I was sick with. I had pneumonia, and I was treating myself. I was in this back basement, and the lieutenant came to have something for you, Doc, and it was a box. I don't remember about a crackerjack size. You look like a crackerjack box. I said, "What is it? A crackerjack?" He said, "No, it's a Silver Star." And because I was stunned, I didn't know I was getting it. And then the open, it's a beautiful medal. Anyway, that's I got it. I was lying down in this damp basement, and then the irony of it is the next week or so, we were in another town, and there was this group of rear echelon people. It was a transportation company, trucking company, and they were getting Bronze Stars, and they had a band. They had a band and a line of soldiers and flags, and everything to give the commanding officer a Bronze Star. Well, this traffic, and I got a Silver Star. I was lying in a damp basement. Anyway, such is life. It's still a wonderful. I'm very appreciative of having God. I did.
Really great. And that also came to your points, didn't it? You had Silver Star.
Like 5 years, like the same 5 years of service. So I was ahead of a lot of people. Some 5 years ago, the old timers had 3 years, 4 years, but I got my time less than 5, so that was great. So you were the president to move to Bremerhaven as the port.
How'd you get to Bremerhaven?
There's another truck.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot how far that was.
Mm-hmm. Then what happened at Bremerhaven?
That's where you got. It was. It reminded me of the first tar paper shack in North Carolina. The barracks there. It was just a temporary thrown up arrangement to prepare to get on the ship.
Mm-hmm.
On the way, we did stop at. We did that. Yes. We almost did a break.